was lucky enough to be part of the original idea, and we started just scouring the country. We went to Austin, Seattle, New York, Nashville, of course, and seeing where would be a good place that we could put an exhibit like this. And logically, one of those cities would have probably been the best in regards to population and people want to participate in what cities have a large historic music activity. But you know, there was something about Chattanooga, Tennessee, and the idea of being able to be placed in the Chattanooga Choo Choo that was just incredibly attractive to us. If you think about these guitars in the time that they were built, the Chattanooga Choo Choo was a transportation hub for musicians and instruments, if you think about it. I've sit in the middle of our facility, which is about 7,500 square feet. As we were building it and just starting to put guitars in, I'd go in by myself and sit around the room and just try and take in what has taken 4 years to accomplish. And I wish that the guitars could talk to me and tell me some of the stories, and maybe, you know, that said, hey look man, I was with this guy who was trying to make it in the record business in the 50s, and I rode this train back and forth through here several times on a connecting train ride, trying to get to somewhere where people would listen to my music, and I've got a memory of being in here on this train. And so how much more romantic could it be that a guitar is back in a facility where, you know, in all likelihood some of them could have ridden on that train before.
Eventually, this whole collection started with just a random sale on eBay that put two people together and got ourselves into a situation where we wanted to build a collection of guitars that covered all types of genres of music, from folk and bluegrass to British invasion, jazz, rock and roll, blues. So we concentrated on certain areas of electric guitars and archtop guitars and banjos and all the like, to make sure that it was complete.
Through my travels, I'd looked at several of the museums around the country, and you know, whereas they're extremely well done, there was something I noticed that was kind of a theme amongst the word museum when it's attached to a place. As much as I love museums, they all seem to be kind of quiet. They looked very, I don't say sterile in a bad way, but it was like they were very reverent to the artifacts that they were showing, and that part of it I liked, but at the same time, the guitars are rock and roll.
Even to emphasize it, we wanted to build it like jewelry, so we really built it out and put a lot of the best into it. We put this 64-foot long by 11-foot neon sign on the front, on the top of the building, so when you're driving down the highway you can see it.
We started incorporating the vendors and with the space itself, and came up with this idea of doing a timeline showing how the electric guitar impacted culture, and then breakout cases with all the different periods that were kind of cultures within the culture. So for instance, in 1950, when the guitar was created, you know, everything changed if you think about it. The saxophone or the clarinet or one of the horns were actually lead guitarists in the band. If you look at even the song, the Chattanooga Choo Choo, you'll see in the video that the guitar player was in the back sitting next to the drummer, because he was a timekeeper just like I am right now. He'd just be playing the guitar because he didn't have a way to be amplified. And so in 1950, when Leo Fender came up with a single pickup Esquire and the dual pickup Broadcaster, it changed everything. All of a sudden, the guitarist could actually be the featured artist.
I bought a brand new airmobile, custom made for the flight division.
And so now you have this guy who's playing a guitar and he's the front man, but he can also use his mouth to sing. And so it was something really unique with the medium of television coming into play at the same time. The 50s changed and shaped American culture, and I think it was all based around the electrified guitar, because now you have an electrified bass, the guy playing the drum set, you've got the electric guitar player, and with this medium of television, now these guys had a unique opportunity to go out and play their songs, and you know who their name is. You now know who the drummer is. You now know who the bass player is, because they're part of a band. The sound of their music made your body move and dance in ways that it never did before, you know, and so this music just made people move in ways that they didn't, and it wasn't adequate for TV at the time. They didn't want the young people to see it. And so if you think about how much this music changed culture, it's incredible, and it wouldn't have happened without the electric guitar. that. So when you see these instruments and you see and hear the stories with them, and I want you to have the same feeling that I get with music. And who knows, I'm not going to say it's going to turn into your career, but I think it'll give you a piece of life that's just kind of like that balance, you know. For me, when you leave Songbirds, I want you to have a new inspiration to be able to go out and you know, start singing in your church choir, start singing in karaoke, pick up the drumsticks and start playing that drum set that's in the basement, grab Grandpa's guitar out from underneath the bed and start striking a chord on it. I think we all have a memory that has something around music, whether it be you know, our first dance at the wedding, or that great song in church, or that song that you remember when you broke up with your girlfriend and makes you drive really fast when you're going down the road. And if you think about all those memories and how much music means to us on many, many different levels, I want to be an inspiration for that. So